Hey guys, what's up? Crazy23 here, and today we're going to be doing the mod guide on the Nerf Rayven. Now, as you can see, this is the old style Rayven, but it doesn't matter if you've got a new Rayven, or the elite style, or the old one. This will apply to all of them. So just follow closely, and you'll probably get it. So yeah, let's get straight to it. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is showing you the tools you're going to need. You're going to need some wire cutters, as always, some number 0 screwdriver, or electric screwdriver like I have. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver to pry open the shell. I'll show you where you need to do that. Solder, some sandpaper, and as always the good old soldering iron to do all the wires. So that's about it. So today I'm going to be swapping out the internals because I've somehow busted my flywheels inside my spray painted one. So I'm just going to be doing a transplant, but first I will do the modifications all to this Rayven, and then I will pull it out and put it into this one. In the firing demo at the end, I'll just be using this one, so yeah, it'll be the exact same internals, so don't worry about that. So yeah, let's get into unscrewing it.
Let me see you bounce.
Alright, so now that you're finished unscrewing, all the screws are pretty much the same, except I think this one up here. This one's a little bit shorter for the tack rail that runs along the top there. So just keep an eye on it. Yeah, you should be all good. Put it back there. Okay, so now what I was saying with this, along the bottom here, Nerf has kind of kindly just glued it together. And you can see I'm pulling it up, and it does not want to come loose. Up here, I think I've done a little bit as well, unless I just unscrew it a bit more. Yeah, I think they've done it a little bit up here as well. So, all you gotta do is just pry it off, and yeah, we'll get back to that. Now that you have your shell off, you can see the inside and the circuitry and all of that. So up here is your trigger. This is your rev switch just in here. These resistors here we're going to be taking out. This is your clip lock that we're going to be getting rid of, and up here is your access door lock. These are your resistors on your motors. We're going to be taking care of them as well. And I don't think there's actually, there should be locks up here, mechanical locks, but the previous owner of this has obviously taken them out and haven't been bothered to do all their soldering and stuff. So here, see this, that screw there, unscrew that, there'll be a lock in there, just take the whole thing out, and over here, the lock has been gotten rid of as well. We unscrew these two screws here. There'll be a lock right there for your trigger lock. That lock there prevents you from pulling the trigger unless you are revving your flywheels. And this lock up here prevents you also from pulling the trigger unless a magazine is in. So now that both of those locks were taken care of, you can see I can just pull the trigger and I'm not revving it or doing anything like that. So yeah, another thing I forgot to say before we unscrewed it, make sure you get your batteries out, because you don't want to get zapped by them while you're using, there's no batteries in there anyway, okay. Yeah, just make sure your batteries are out and it should be all good. Alright, so let's start taking it apart. Here on your wires there are going to be pieces of plastic covering the wires so they don't move. Just chop that. Don't worry if you cut the
Sorry
wire.
guys, my iPhone cut out while I was doing all this soldering here, and what I've done is there'll be two, as you probably saw from the videos before, there's two little plates here. You just take them off, you clip the these things here. You clip the wires from there, and then you solder them together like this. I needed a little bit of extra wire to complete the circuit from the battery terminal up here. So all you gotta do is desolder that. That's how it comes off. And that's all you gotta do. Don't worry about the pink wire, that's not connected to anything. All you do is do that, solder them all together, and get rid of these two plates there because they're unwanted.
Okay, so the next step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get rid of all this wire and stuff through here. You don't even need any of it. This red wire here, coming to the lock, you can just clip all of these wires and spare wire that you can probably use for the rest of this. Just clip all of it. This pink wire that runs up to here, we're not even going to run it back up to here because this blue wire actually goes to the pink wire here goes to this lock, which then the red wire goes to this lock here, which then goes into the motors. So what we're going to do is directly connect the pink wire straight to the red wire. So you can just clip that straight off, still leaving enough wire so you can solder it together. I've left a bit too much, but the more the merrier. And then you can get rid of all of that. And then this wire here will be coming back to the negative port. You can just clip that there, and that'll be enough. So basically you just get rid of all of this here. You do not need that. You can save that wire for whatever you want. If you're going to do any other Nerf mods, that's perfect wire. Well, not perfect wire, but usable wire for what you want it for. And this white wire can just go away as well. Alright, so what you're going to do is just file this pink wire down again at the end, so it's exposing the wire. So we can solder this wire to that red wire on the motor. It may be easier to unscrew the motor while we're on the top. Wiggle it out like that. It's going to be easier to get rid of, get the motor out of the actual shell itself, so we can do these resistors later as well. Do the twist and tie thing again. Let's get the best connection. Let's get rid of some of this rubber. Twist it together so it has a nice strong connection like that. As you can see, I'm pulling pretty hard on it and it's staying together. Don't pull too hard, otherwise you'll have to put it back together obviously. So that's all soldered together now, nice and strong. Alright, so now we can get rid of this shell here because I'm not going to be using it for anything because we're going to be putting all this into the other shell. Don't worry, I won't make you sit through me and screen. I'll pause this bit and I'll do the rest of it. So don't worry about this wire here. That is for your negative battery terminal, and this wire here is going to your positive battery terminal. Alright, so now onto the resistors up here. As you can see, you need to clip. I'll show you what it looks like. Yours is going to look like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip both of the red and the teal wires from it. Just
just like that. Just like that. They come off. You can either desolder them or clip them off. I think I might desolder mine, just be easier. And a whole lot safer as well. Don't want to ruin those tabs. So you will never need those again. I don't know why you'd want them, but yep, they're gone. So now what we need to do is make 2 bits of wire that will connect both to each side. I'm going to use the wire I just cut off. Get a good enough length. Should be good enough for both sides. Yep. Like that. There. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to file down all the sides and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. So now that I've finished the wires here, this is what they look like. On both ends they need to have that connection. So it's basically simulating what the resistors did, but with wire and no resistance. So now I'll just go ahead and solder these onto the tabs. Your motors, your flywheels should look like this now. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is get the pink wire, the red wire here, that comes from down here up to the motors. This is the positive wire, so this needs to go on the front and not the back, otherwise your flywheels will be spinning the wrong way. So all you need to do is file that down. And I'll show you. Alright, so what you're going to do is get a wire underneath it, loop it round, and just push it down to make a good connection like that. Let's see what I'm doing there. Get some solder and wrench it. Do the same for the teal wire. Alright, all our wires are now connected. So now I'm going to unscrew my Rayven and put this assembly in there. So yeah, so now that we've got my other Rayven in here, I'm just going to take all the stuff out and then I will show you how to put the new assembly in. Alright, we have the motors and the negative and positive connections here. So now we're going to slip this. So I'm going to slip the flywheels back into the blaster now. And screw it down. Screws aren't necessary, but they do provide it to be flush with the blaster and probably helps the dust. I would know. So you can wrap that wire down there. Once the cooperate.
this is the positive connection here. And I'm just going to solder that straight back onto the battery terminal. This connection here is your positive. And that is on. And now for the negative wire, wrap around. So all your wiring is now complete, and this is basically the end of doing all the modifications. So now what you're going to do is put your mag well back in, get your clip release back in as well, screw down this plate on here. If you wanted to, you can give everything a quick re-lubricate if you wanted to. This is the stuff that I bought. I just used a flathead screwdriver, just dip a bit out and put some in the column there, the clip release, just so it runs a little bit smoother, not runs, like operates a bit smoother. Grease up your rev switch if you'd wish to. I'm just going to give it a quick dabs so there's not too much friction, and a little bit on my trigger as well. Okay, so it seems like it's about everything. You're going to want to remember is your end strike attachment rail clip just up here, put that into the slot, and it should be all good. If you want to bracket this down, feel free to put this plate back on. I know I am, because it's going to keep the rev switch down, and it's never going to move out of place. You don't have to keep it on there, but I'm going to screw it down. That seems to be everything now, so just go ahead, get the other side of your Rayven. Make sure all the wires are tucked in and they're not sticking out on the outside, otherwise you're going to be seeing them and exposing them and damaging them. Once everything is clipped down like that, you can hear that it's locked in. Just start screwing everything back together. Alright guys, to finish off the video, here's a firing demo of the modified Rayven. Alright, I only put a few in there. So if you guys, I didn't put any trust fires, lipos or high voltage batteries inside then for the firing test. That's just pure what it's off when you modify it. Expect the range to be a bit better because I've got the barrel on the front and all that's doing is reducing range. So yeah, if you guys liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share, add it to your favorites, all that social media stuff, and yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next one. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.